we are going to be making a fun chocolates project. And this will just take us one class time. It'll be super quick and easy. So we're going to be using some chalk pastels, but before we get to the chalk, we need to draw, and we're just going to draw in Sharpie to start. So you are going to take 2 lines for a walk. We don't want to have them too close together or too far apart. So it's going to be about 3 finger spaces down. I want you to make a dot and do the same thing on the other side of your paper. And then 3 finger spaces from the bottom, make a dot on both sides of your paper. So now I've got my dots, and I'm going to take a line for a walk, making it a wavy line. There can be a few loop-de-loops. Don't go crazy with those. Make sure you connect from one side to the other. Once you have that, you'll go down to the bottom and do the same thing again. It can dip down, it could be more horizontal like this one. That is up to you, but I would say probably no more than 4 loops per strand. So this is like the wire for our lights. Next, we're going to be adding our lights. So depending on how big you make them, you will have room for about, I would say, anywhere from 6 to 10 on a strand. I wouldn't do any more than that. So we'll say 6 to 10 on a strand. So remember that number, 6 to 10. And I want to show you on this marker board to practice making those light bulb shapes. So what we will do on our strand, on our string, is we are going to make a square. So the bottom of the strand is the bottom of the square. And then we can add the lines inside. That will be like the bottom of the bulb. Then you'll want to kind of turn your paper so the bottom of the bulb, the top of the square, will have the curved part, and then you're going to come around for a point. So that will be like the light bulb. So depending on how big you draw, because you might draw really small. Now that would look silly if both of those were on the same strand, but you could do one or the other. So that's what I mean. If you were doing this size, you might only be able to fit 6. This size, you might be able to fit 10. So the shape is like a teardrop shape. It's pointy on the top, round on the bottom. So you can either do that and kind of connect underneath, so having like the strand close by, and then make the bulb above the strand and then just connect it. Or you can draw the square shape and then make the bulb on top. As you can see, my bulbs I think look better if I do it this way. So practicing on here can hopefully help you decide which way that you would like to do it. So from here, I'm going to draw out all of my light bulbs on my paper. Now that all your lights are drawn out, you need to think, what colors are you going to use for your lights? Are you going to make a color pattern? So maybe doing just 3 colors, like an ABC pattern, A, B, C, A. So that's up to you. So I'm going to pick out a few colors, and I'm just going to stick to those colors. So I'm just going to limit myself. I think I'll do some pink lights, some green lights, and just some yellow lights. So you could do just 2 colors, you could do all of the colors, that's up to you. So then from there, you're going to color in each of your lights. So when you color your lights, you want to make sure that you are not coloring in that square part. If a little bit gets in there, that's okay. Notice how I've kind of gone outside of my lines a little bit. That's okay too. You can see there's lots of dust and crummies. Whatever you do, do not just wipe it away. So what you'll want to do is kind of shake this off, especially because you guys will have your colors underneath with your names. We don't want to get those all chalky. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to make these lights look like they're glowing. So however many colors you use, that's how many fingers you're going to be using to make your lights glow. You want to stick with one finger per color, that way we don't mix the colors together. So if you don't like the feeling of this, you could always use a tissue, or if it really bothers you, ask a friend. Just make sure you guide them so they do it the way you want to, because I know chalk doesn't feel the best. But if it doesn't bother you, then just do it. It's kind of fun. So I'm going to take my finger and not just any which way, we're going to blur the chalk in a circular motion right around the bulb. So it looks like our light is glowing. So I'm going to use this finger for all of my pinks. Just going in a circular motion, that way the light looks like it's illuminating. So I'm going to go on all of my pinks. Once you're done with one color, you're just going to move to the next, but making sure that you're using a different finger. If you feel like some colors, like the yellow is really light, if you feel like it's not illuminating enough, you can always go back in with more chalk and then rub it again. So obviously different colors are going to give you a different result. So my pink is very dark, so you might not even see on the video. I'm not sure if you can tell that the other ones are illuminating, but the yellow and the green are a little lighter, but the pink, I'm sure you can definitely tell. So you want to make sure that you don't forget any of them. And some of this chalk's a little funny, like if it doesn't seem to be working on one side, try another side or another angle with your chalk. But if you need to go back and recolor any in, do that. You might not want to blow away that extra dust, because I feel like that is helping me get a better glow by leaving that dust on. So the first time I kind of shook it off. Just make sure you don't rub it away. So make sure you are going in a circular motion. That way it looks like your lights are actually glowing. So when you are done, we're going to put these on the drying rack, even though they don't need to dry. This way, just to kind of keep them separate. And then I will spray them.